This is your Twilight Imperium Galactic Report, a full gameplay video brought to you by Cardboard Crash Course. Support the Cardboard Crash Course and the Galactic Report by joining the YouTube membership program. YouTube members enjoy benefits like an exclusive after report after today's show. Let's meet our players. Hi, I'm Ethan. I run the Cardboard Crash Course, so I have a little bit of a reputation to uphold. So if I don't end up winning this game, I'm going to be extremely upset. And it's going to be all the patrons' fault, because they voted on me playing the Arborec. And it's not because I haven't played them before, that's just because they thought it would be funny. So wish me luck. We're playing in a 3-player game, so I'm a little bit interested how this whole trade meta and everything is going to work out, but I'm excited to crush some space bugs.
Yo, what's up? It's Adam, and in this episode, I'm playing the Sardak Nor. I've never played them before, but you know what? They just add +1 to die rolls, so I'm ready to crush my opponents this game with a ton of units. I'm looking to feed on some space plants and some space marines. I've never really played a 3-player game, so these double cards are going to be really interesting. I'm not sure how that's going to play out, but I'm excited to see all the strategy behind that.
Hey everyone, I'm Rahman, and this game I will be playing the Federation of Sol. It's the first time I will be playing them, but they seem pretty versatile and not too difficult, so I'm excited. Everyone at this table kind of has really good ground forces, so ground combat's going to be really fun. I hope to squash some bugs and burn some plants. We're about to roll off for the speaker here, so let's get into it.
Before the game begins, we're going to reveal the first 2 Stage 1 public objectives. For the first one, we have Populate the Outer Rim. Have units in 3 systems on the edge of the game board, other than your home system. The second one, Push Boundaries. Control more planets than each of your 2 neighbors. We're also going to give out 2 secret objectives to each player, and they'll choose one to keep.
My choice of secret objectives at the beginning of the game was super easy. One of them required me to kill every ground force by bombardment, which early on is not going to happen, I don't think. The other one was produce en masse, which was pretty easy because all I had to do was get units in a system with a production value of 8 total, which I think is going to happen by the end of the game anyway. So I ended up choosing that one.
Alright, so my 2 secret objectives were between having someone's promissory note in my player area or having 4 PDS on the game board. Both are actually pretty reasonable, and with this game having a lot of infantry, I was really thinking about the PDS, but I also feel like it'll be super easy to get someone's promissory note at some point in this game, so I feel like that one's the easiest one to do, and we shouldn't have any problems, right? I think tech is always something I like to use, and I don't start off with any, so I'm going to make sure I get that this round.
With these objectives on the board, it seems like moving around to different planets in the system is going to be really good. My carriers only move 1 natively, so I am going to be choosing the Warfare strategy card.
Arborec have their reasons. I think I'm going to go with politics.
This may or may not seem a little controversial, but I was looking at leadership, but I think I'm actually going to grab diplomacy. Alright, so my strategy for getting 7 and 2, technology and diplomacy, is pretty much to go and grab some planets, be able to use those planets to then go towards the technology, and maybe spend the resources or influence on something else later in the round.
Alright, since it left on the board, I think I'm going to take leadership so I can get ahead in strategy tokens. Taking warfare and leadership is going to be my biggest strength in this first round, because it'll allow me to spread out and keep my advantage with command tokens.
Trade is my next up because I think I'm going to have to be building a lot using those Letni warriors. I really wanted someone else to take Imperial, but I really had no use for the primary. I only wanted the secondary, so being left with it or trade, I just took trade instead to get me some money for the next round.
Alrighty, I'm going to start out the game. I'm just going to activate this system right here. And we are going to bring in a carrier, 4 infantry, and some fighters so I can claim these planets. All right, I'm going to start off by exploring Aranam. We have an industrial relic fragment, so I can purge 3 of these to get a relic. Next, we're going to do Mir. And I've got a hazardous relic fragment. Same thing, except different color.
All right, turn 1's always super simple, so I'm just going to activate this system right in front of me. Take my carrier. I'm going to take 2 guys with me. And then I'm going to explore each of these planets, starting with Bereg. Also have a hazardous relic fragment. And core mine, if you have at least 1 mech on this planet, or if you have remove 1 infantry from this planet, gain 1 trade good. That seems pretty worth to me, so I'll get rid of my dude and get a trade good.
I can't believe Adam actually went into the middle of the board instead of the edges for his first turn. Crazy move by him, but it might be a little bit more difficult for him to get this objective.
Bro, I can't believe I just did that. Wait, why did I move this stuff? Why did I move it in the board? I needed to be outside of the board. This literally happens every time I play this game. I always mess up my first turn.
For Arborek's first turn, I'm going to exhaust Letni Aspa, the agent, in order to replace this cruiser with a carrier from my reinforcements.
All right, I'm back up again, so we're going to take a very similar turn. I'm going to activate this system here, bring in a carrier and infantry fighter, and we are going to claim Wellen.
Instead of placing the planet cards on the table, we're placing these exploration tokens to represent whether a planet's been taken for the first time or not. You can find these on the Panamaniac 3D Etsy store, and I'll leave a link in the description for it, alongside a coupon code that you can use to get 15% off your order. They were sent to me from Panamaniac, and I really appreciate it, so I'd love if you went to go support it.
On exploration, I get abandoned warehouses. I can gain 2 commodities, or I can convert my commodities to trade goods. I don't have any, so I'm just going to gain 2 commodities.
All right, so I may have moved inside of the board, so to compensate for that, I want to unexhaust 2 planets, which I already wanted to do anyway, by doing Diplomacy to choose a system other than Mechatol Rex that contains a planet I control. Each other player puts tokens from their reinforcements there, and I get to unexhaust 2 planets, so I'm going to choose here and get these 2 bad boys unexhausted so I can start using them. The secondary allows someone to spend a strategy token to unexhaust 2 planets themselves. Anyone interested?
I'm going to spend a strategy token from my pool to ready Mir and Wellen.
And I think I'm going to pass, because Nestfar is the only planet that I control right now, and it's still ready. Well, I'm definitely not going to make the same mistake as Adam. I'm going to move in my carrier with a couple of infantry and take both Arnor and Lore. Exploring Arnor first, we have another abandoned warehouse. I can either gain 2 commodities or convert up to 2 of my commodities to trade goods. Being that I don't have any trade goods, I guess I'll gain a couple commodities. And Lore is also an industrial planet, so we've got a functioning base. You can gain a commodity or spend a trade good or commodity to draw an action card. Well, that's an easy choice. I'll go ahead and spend one of the commodities I just got and hope that it's a good one. It wasn't a good one, but at least I can throw it away for my secret objective.
Alrighty, on my turn, I will be activating the Warfare Strategy card. I'm going to remove a command token from this system here and gain 1. This will go straight to my tactic pool. From there, I can redistribute it, but I will choose not to. Now, anyone can spend a token from their strategy pool to use the production ability of a space dock in their home system.
I'm going to use the secondary by exhausting Nestfar and placing an extra carrier at my home.
I'm also going to take advantage of this. I'm going to use that 1 trade good I got earlier and build a destroyer in my home system. All right, back to me. Going to start expanding a little more. We're going to go to Lordor, bring this carrier and a dude. And we will explore, and I'll get another cultural relic fragment here. At the end of my turn, I actually also used my agent, which allows someone at the end of their turn to put 2 infantry onto a planet in the active system. I kind of totally forgot to mention that, and they were totally cool with letting me, take that back real quick and just put those 2 on there, because there's really no reason not to use it unless I want to give my opponents 2 free units. In a unit-heavy meta like this, yeah, I don't know about that.
I'm activating the Kormund system and moving a carrier in with a single infantry, exploring a hazardous Volatile fuel source. If you have at least one mech or remove an inventory, gain a command token. Not exactly what I want to see, but because I still maintain control even though I remove an inventory, I'll go ahead and do it.
I'm going to activate the Quan system. I'm going to bring over this carrier that just got freed along with 2 infantry and 2 fighters. We are going to explore Quan. And look at that, it is another relic fragment. So I have 1 of each, which is not helpful, but it is cool. This also puts me on the B hole here, so I'm a little bit closer to Arborek.
Yay, B-hole!
The public objectives at the beginning of the game were really good for me. I think I have a really good slice here with a bunch of planets, as well as the A wormhole and B wormhole, so I can be neighbors with both the players pretty quickly.
All right, I'm going to pop tech, which says that I can research 1 technology. I may also spend 6 resources to research another technology. I'm actually going to do both of those. Everyone else has the option to spend 1 strat token from their strategy pool and 4 resources to research a tech themselves. I'm just going to get dark energy tap and AI development algorithm.
All right, I am going to spend a command token for my strategy pool, as well as exhaust my home planet for 4 resources, and I am going to research dark energy tap as well.
Ooh, that's going to give Armand access to all these frontier tokens over by his home system. I don't have very much going on over here, and I don't have the funds to do it, so this is an easy no for me. Okay, I'm going to do my most harrowing action of the entire game and try to go for this victory point by bringing along a carrier and an infantry and a fighter over to Atlas through Cormund, which means I'll have to roll a die to see if the carrier blows up. On a 1 to 3, it's going to blow up. Otherwise, I make it through safely. Ooh, it almost hit a 1, but that's a 9, which means I can explore Atlas just fine. It is a mining world detachment. This planet's resource value is increased by 2. That's actually really nice on Atlas because it's already a 3-1, so having 5 resources on one planet is great for later in the game with technology.
I'm going to activate this system here with the A wormhole, and I will bring my destroyer in. I just got dark energy tap, so I'm going to be able to explore this frontier token here. Let's see what we get. And it is another relic fragment, so I actually have 1 of each of them. The cool thing about this one is it counts as any type. So I just need 1 more. This also puts me as neighbors with both the Arborek and Sardak Nor.
Now for my simplest turn yet. I'm just going to activate this system here. My cruiser's going to cruise along on over.
Now that I'm neighbors with the Soul Player, I'm going to use the Trade Strategy card, which allows me to gain 3 trade goods up front, and replenish my commodities, of which I'm going to gain 2. I'm going to replenish the Soul Players with the intention that we're going to do a full trade where he gives me 4 of his commodities and I give him 3. Armand, do you accept the offer?
I could use some trade goods right now, so yeah, I think I will accept that offer.
Okay, Armand's going to refresh then, give me his 4 commodities. I'll give him my 3 commodities, so we'll both go up a little bit. Adam, you now have the ability to do the secondary, spending 1 token from your strategy pool to replenish your commodities. Now, the Sardak Nor has a total of 3 he can replenish up to, and he doesn't have any commodities at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know if that's worth a strat token. I'll hold back.
I am finally going to use the leadership strategy card, so I'm going to gain 3 command tokens, and then I'm also going to exhaust Amir and Wellen that I readied earlier for another 6 influence, so I'm going to get a total of 5 command tokens here. Now for the secondary, people can spend any amount of influence to gain 1 command token for every 3 influence spent.
I'm personally just going to cross my fingers that the 2 command tokens we're going to get at the end of the round is going to seriously help me out with the next objective. So, I probably will not spend any of my trade goods that I got from that on any leadership secondary.
Thankfully, I used diplomacy earlier to unexhaust this planet, which happens to have 3 influence, so I'm going to use that to get another command token.
At the end of my turn, I would like to offer Adam a bit of a trade now that we're neighbors. I will give him a hazardous relic fragment and 2 trade goods for his cultural relic fragment. What do you say?
2 trade goods seems pretty okay. You know, I would totally be down to give you my hazardous fragment instead of the cultural one.
I don't see the real difference there since I will be able to get a relic anyway, so I'm fine with that.
And you think I get one more trade good, or how you feeling about that?
Kind of pushing it a little bit, but sure. 3 trade goods is fine. All right, here you go.
Thanks.
Thank you as well.
Thank you. Asking for a cultural fragment here is actually really big for me, since there's still 2 planets in my pie slice that could give me another cultural relic fragment. I was being a little bit greedy with asking for 3, but it sounded like he kind of really wanted it.
3 trade goods and a relic fragment from Armand going over to Adam, that's ridiculous. I would not pay more than 1 or 2 trade goods. Now, I know Armand's going to get a relic out of this, but I don't know. That seems like way too much to pay Adam for that. I hope whatever relic he gets is worth it.
Well, because I got an extra command token and put it into my tactic pool, I will activate this last system here and move that destroyer I created earlier with Warfare, and I'll be chilling on the edge of the board. Boom. I got my 3rd unit at the edge of the game board that was so nice. Everything worked out flawlessly, despite the fact that I made a huge mistake moving my stuff in earlier, not thinking about it.
For my final action this round, I'm going to use the Politics strategy card. First of all, I'm going to be able to choose a player other than the speaker to become the speaker. Very obviously, I'm going to choose myself. Secondly, I'm going to draw 2 action cards from the deck. Ooh, very interesting. And lastly, I'm going to look at the top 2 agendas, put 1 on the top and 1 on the bottom. One of those is very interesting, and one of those is super, super lame. In a game like this, I just think it'd be funny to put representative government on top. Call me weird, but it seems like fun. The other players now have the ability to draw 2 action cards if they spend a token from the strategy pool from the politics secondary.
I've got 1 strat token left, but I don't think I'll be doing that this round.
I just got a whole bunch of command tokens, so I think I will use 1 for my strategy pool, and I'm going to pull 2 action cards.
All right, after that use of politics, Arborek is going to pass for the round.
Alrighty, this is going to be the Soul's last turn as well. I'm going to use the 3 fragments that I just got as an action to purge all 3 of them, and I'm going to grab the top card of the relic deck. I got the Maw of Worlds. At the start of the agenda phase, I can purge this card, exhaust all my planets, and I gain attack.
And back around to me, and I actually have no tactic tokens left. I've used them all, so I'm passing as well.
I'm pretty happy with the first round. Getting a relic is awesome. It's not the best one, but I may get a free technology later in the game.
At the beginning of the status phase, the Mitosis ability will trigger, and I'll replace one of my infantry with a mech on Arnor. Then in initiative order, Armand, then Adam, and then Ethan will score the Populate the Outer Rim Stage 1 public objective, giving each of us a single victory point. None of the 3 of us had any secret objectives to score at the moment. We'll then remove all of our tokens from the game board and gain 2 tokens and redistribute them. The Federation of Soul will instead gain 3 tokens. And finally, each of us will draw a single action card, except for the Federation of Soul, who draws 2 because of Neural Motivator. The next public objective is Improve Infrastructure. Have structures on 3 planets outside of your home system. All right, well, this is the easiest choice of my life. For this round, because I'm the speaker, I'm going to start with the Construction strategy card, which will allow me to take the trade good off of it.
I used a lot of tokens last round, so I think I'm just going to grab Leadership. Super simple.
All right, Ethan left Imperial up. I think I have to take that right now so he doesn't get it and potentially go for Mechatol. I can go for it. I just need someone to use the tech ability so I can get my carriers from 1 movement to 2. There's a trade good on this one, so there's a little bit more incentive to take it. I'm going to be grabbing Imperial.
Well, Armand took Imperial, which means that he'll probably try to take Mechatol Rex turn 1, but at least I'm still the speaker for next turn, so he doesn't get Imperial twice in a row. At least we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I saw this coming, man. Dude, being able to pop Imperial, like, in turn order 2 is so ridiculous.
All right, secondly, I think I'm going to go ahead and take Warfare. I think it's time to push.
Yeah, us space bugs, we're kind of dumb. We don't start with a lot of tech, so I think I'm grabbing it for a second round in a row.
All right, finally, I'm going to grab the diplomacy strategy for my last one. I'm going to choose diplomacy as well, just so I can ready up some more planets, so that way I have enough influence to pay for Rex, and then maybe also leadership and a technology.
No politics taken? Dude, that's kind of crazy. I could have taken it for this round and given myself the speaker, but I kind of just wanted to tech up some more.
All right, start a round. Technology, please. Please, Adam, use it.
So even though the fact that I have leadership and I get to go first, I'm actually going to just start off by doing technology.
Let's go! We used it! Yes!
With that, I'm going to get upgraded carriers and neural motivators. Upgraded carriers because I got AI development algorithm last time, so I can ignore one prereq, which is an additional blue. I also have dark energy tap, so that's one blue.
I'm going to take a token out of my strategy pool to do the secondary, as well as exhaust my home planet for 4 resources, and I will also upgrade my carriers.
Arbrek is going to do the same thing with Cormund and Arnor in order to research Scanlink drone network. I'm going to be re-exploring all my systems anyway. I might as well get some extra exploration cards out of it.
I am going to activate the Mechatol Rex system. With my upgraded carriers, I can now move these guys over to here. Now, I can pay the 6 influence using Mir and Wellen and take the Custodian token. Alright, now that I got Mechatol, I just gotta defend it with all that I've got. The Imperial use is a little bit lackluster because I wasn't able to get a public objective, but hey, I'll take a point over nothing.
This man is about to steamroll. I need to start grabbing more planets so I can get that public objective, or at least stop him from getting it.
As an action, I'm going to use the Mining Initiative action card to gain trade goods equal to the resource value of a planet I control. Because Atlas has the +2, I'll gain 5 trade goods. I'm sitting at a pretty 13 trade goods.
Bro, what? He has 13 trade goods! Bruh. Man, alright, well, he beat me to it, but I think I'll just take the next best thing. I'll activate this system, bring my dude over there, and we'll explore Hope's End. Boom, Rich World. I get to increase the resource value by 1, so that's a 4-0. That's pretty sweet. And when I get to the end of my turn, I'm actually going to exhaust my agent so that I can get 2 additional dudes onto that planet.
Alrighty, I am going to use my Diplomacy strategy card. I will have everyone put their command tokens on this system here, with the planet I control being Quan. And I'm going to ready both Mechatol Rex and Mir.
That's ridiculous.
Wait, oh my. Bro just got 10 influence from unexhausting 2 planets.
For the secondary, I will ready Arnor and Cormund that I did just use last turn.
I'm in a similar boat. Well, Hope's End is buffed up to 4, so I'm going to unexhaust that and one of my home planets.
All right, I'm just going to try to get some value. We're going to move this carrier and the mech and infantry over to this system here. I'm going to explore New Albion first, and it is local fabricators. I can gain a commodity or spend a trade good or commodity to place a mech from my reinforcements on this planet. I'll spend a single trade good to place a mech, and then I'm also going to explore Starpoint and gain a hazardous relic fragment, my first fragment.
Man, this really sucks after Armand's turn, but I need command tokens, so I'm going to pop leadership. I'm going to get 3 command tokens, and I'm going to spend 3 influence from this planet right here to get a 4th myself. What are you guys going to do?
I'm going to exhaust Mechatol Rex, Mir, and Aranam for a total of 12 influence. That gives me 4 command tokens.
I'm going to exhaust Lore and Arnor to gain a single command token.
I can't even read my own fucking handwriting. What is that? Did I say face down? What?
I'm adding this in as a confession.
Yes. I'm going to activate this system and bring in my carrier along with 2 infantry and a fighter along the way. I'm going to explore echoing here. And we have a biotic research facility. So this is going to get a green tech specialty. And then we will explore Joel Ear here. And would you look at that? Another attachment. This one is going to get a blue tech specialty.
What? Bro, 2 tech specs in 1 turn? That's insane. This game is rigged for him. Okay, well, we're going to try to salvage a little bit of this and use the construction card. I'm going to place a space dock and a PDS on Atlas. Anybody else gets to spend a strategy token to place a PDS or space dock on a planet they control, but they do have to lock down that system.
Yeah, I'm going to spend 1 for my strat pool. I already have this system activated, so let's just go to my reinforcements, but I'm going to put a space dock on Hope's End.
All right, I'm going to put a token for my strat pool here, and I will put a PDS on Mir.
All right, Orman. I can't let you just sit on Mechatol and get some free points, so I'm actually going to move this carrier on over here, bring 2 dudes with me to gain control and explore these 2 new planets. First planet will be this green one. I can gain 2 commodities or convert up to 2 of my commodities to trade goods. I'll gain 2 commodities. And for the second one, I may place an infantry for my reinforcements on this planet. Seems good. I like infantry.
I've got an action card I want to use. It is Frontline Deployment. I'm going to place 3 infantry from my reinforcements onto Mechatol ranks.
I promise you, I did not stack any of these decks before the game. Frontline Deployment was just a lucky pull. All right, I'm going to activate the Atlas system, first re-exploring it using Scanlink Drone Network. And we've got a second hazardous relic fragment that might actually come in handy. Secondly, I'm going to spend 10 resources to build up on Atlas.
Man, Ethan not using Warfare here really sucks because it puts me in a pinch, forcing me to have to use my action card instead of being able to move units out that I really want to build in my home system and then using the action card. For my turn here, I'm going to do Exploration Probe as an action. It lets me explore a frontier token that is in an adjacent or in a system that contains one or more of my ships. Right now, I've got ships here and here, so the only one I can choose is this one. And that will let me explore this, gain 1 command token and 3 trade goods. Seems pretty good.
I'm not going to be able to get the planets I want to this round, so I think while I still have Mechatol, we're going to use Imperial. So I'm going to immediately score a public objective if I could. I cannot, but I do get a victory point because I control Mechatol Rex. Everyone else can now spend a token from the strategy pool to draw a secret objective.
Yep, that'll be 1 for me.
1 for me too.
That secret objective's back from the beginning of the game. That was completely random. Hopefully I can actually unveil it this time. Adam and I talked about this being helpful, so I'm going to go ahead and not stall anymore and just use Warfare to remove this token off the Atlas system and place it back on my sheet.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm going to spend 1, and I'm going to spend 3, 6, 8, and then I can get 2 more infantry for 9 to build some stuff in my home system.
I'm just going to spend 2 resources from Quan and a token for my strategy pool, and we are going to put some infantry on my home system.
All right, now that I've got some new infantry and some new carriers, it's time to start expanding even more. I'm going to move up here with a brand new carrier. I'll bring a dude, and I think I'll bring a mech as well. And we'll explore this cultural planet. Boom, cultural relic fragment. That gives me 3, so I'm actually really excited to see that. Then at the end of my turn, I'm going to use the ability on Hope's End to exhaust it to draw an action card.
I'm going to be activating the Soul's Orbital Drop ability, so I'm going to take a token from my strat pool, and I'm going to put 2 more infantry on Mechatol.
Well, I have the ability to try to take Rex through the Gravity Rift, but I think I'm going to do the simpler play and just go to Primor. We're going to bring a single carrier along with a single infantry over to Primor. Exploring the cultural, it's freelancers. I can produce a unit in the system. You may spend influence as if it were resources to produce this unit. I'm absolutely not going to take advantage of that ability, because I could just do it with my infantry if I wanted to, but I'm going to choose not to. Primor is going to immediately give me the Legendary Planet ability card, which I'm going to exhaust to place 2 infantry from my reinforcements on any planet I control.
Alrighty. Another ship, another planet to go and explore. We'll come on over here and check out what this bad boy has to offer. The Cybernetic Research Facility. It's already got a tech specialty of red, so we're just going to focus on giving it +1/+1. Yo, this attachment's pretty sick. I actually kind of hope there's a public objective that's associated with attachments, because I'm about to get that.
All right, I think I'm just going to keep this up. Going to use the last token in my strat pool, and we're going to put 2 more guys on Megatol Rex with Orbital Drop.
Using the last token from my tactic pool, I'm going to move a carrier and an infantry to both Bakal and Eleoprima. Bakal is going to give me functioning base. I can spend a commodity or trade good in order to draw an action card, which you all know I will. And Eleoprima will give me mercenary outfit. I can place an infantry from my reinforcements on this planet. It's alright.
Alright, well, before I pass my turn here, I've got 3 cultural relic fragments now, so time to go purge those bad boys and see what is up. We have the Prophet's Tears. When you research technology, you may exhaust this card to ignore a prerequisite or draw 1 action card. It's pretty good value, but not the best thing in the deck.
I don't have anything more to do on my turn. I'm out of Orbital Drop, so I think I'm passing.
Alright, as the Arborek, I'm going to use Letni Asfa, the agent, in order to change the Sardak Nor's cruiser and replace it with a Dreadnought. Now, I did offer him this deal in order to get his faction promissory note.
There you go, man.
Hopefully that'll come in handy for the greater good. Alright, after that, I'm going to pass, which means all of us have passed, so we're going to move into the next status phase. I'm going to use the Mitosis ability to place a infantry onto Cormont. Well, unfortunately, in initiative order, Adam, then Armand, and then Ethan have no publics to score, and also no secrets to score. So it looks like we're not advancing points this round. The next public objective is Found Research Outposts. Control 3 planets that have technology specialties. We'll then clean up the rest of the board.
Alrighty, at the start of the agenda phase, I do still have this Mauve Worlds relic. So I'm going to purge the card, exhaust all my planets, and I'm going to get a tech. I won't be able to vote this round, but I will have Scanlink Drone Network.
Alright, as the speaker, I'll pull our first agenda of the game, Representative Government. It's a law. The 4 effect is players cannot exhaust planets to vote during the agenda phase. Each player may cast 1 vote on each agenda instead. Players cannot cast additional votes. Against, at the start of the next strategy phase, each player that voted against exhaust all their cultural planets. Yeah, so I put representative government at the top of the deck just to make it a little more interesting and possibly a little easier for me to actually edit this video after the fact. But one way or another, I think it is an interesting way to play a 3-player game, where if everybody kind of votes for themselves, then the speaker gets to break the tie. So we have to commit to a single person for elect player agendas.
So if we vote for, then all of our planets mean nothing?
Correct. If we vote for, then for the rest of the game, as long as this law is in play, we will only each have a single vote to use, which is kind of interesting in a 3-player game.
That is really interesting.
I have no say in this, but it does make a lot of my influence planets kind of useless, at least in voting.
Yeah, I mean, my influence is pretty abysmal right now, and if we let this go through, then we actually have some say in voting.
Do either of you have any when agenda is revealed cards? Okay, what about after an agenda is revealed cards? I do get a chance here first. I'm going to say no. None to play.
I'm going to play one. I'm going to play a Warfare Rider. After an agenda is revealed, I cannot vote during this agenda, predict aloud the outcome of it, and if my prediction is correct, I get a Dreadnought from my reinforcements in a system that contains one of my ships. I think that 4 is going to go through, so I do think that we're going to each get 1 vote for the rest of the game.
Well, since I do not vote at all either, I also have a rider. I have the trade rider. I will predict, and if I get the prediction correct, I will get 5 trade goods. I'm going to go straight in line with Adam and say this is going to be 4.
Well, I'll keep the shenanigans going then. I'll play Imperial Rider and sit out, and I'll predict 4 and gain a victory point if I am correct. None of us have any more afters to play?
No more afters.
No more afters? All right, so none of us get to vote, which means I break the tie. I'm going to pass it 4, and we all get our riders.
Oh my god.
That is crazy.
That is really wild.
I was not going to use it.
That's so funny.
I was not going to use it, but I was like, oh, well, I don't have really a choice now.
Yeah. All 3 of us using riders for that first agenda was crazy. And I mean, I think Ethan definitely got out the best out of all of them since he's getting a point. I'll take 5 trade goods, but dude, that's a point.
All right, well, with representative government passing, we can look at the next one with a different point of view. This is Minister of Industry. The elected player gains this card. It's an elect player law. When the owner of this card places a space dock in the system, that player's units in that system may use their production abilities. Okay, it's a nice little boost, but nothing like absolutely insane. Somebody's definitely taking the construction strategy card next round.
I mean, this vote is just between you and I. He can't vote, so.
Well,
I think I can now.
yeah, he just...
Oh, right, yeah. You
Planets
just
don't
exhausted-
matter.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Does anybody have any win agendas I revealed?
No.
No.
Me neither. Afters?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay. Well, I think we all just kind of want ourselves.
But you are speaker, so you kind of get it if we do that.
Unless one of us chooses each other.
Mm-hmm.
Adam, would you vote for me for 2 trade goods?
I mean, are you not going to just get it anyway? Well, you don't even want space docks. Or is it...
When they place a space dock, they can use the production abilities.
We all want structures.
You already produce on your units, so why do you want it?
Because they can use it.
Oh, they use production. Got it.
All the units in that system can use production.
Okay, well, that's a little scary.
Well, so what? I'm using it against
The thing is, he's the speaker,
the main problem.
right? And he's going to be a speaker. I don't think we want him to have it and then just pick construction.
Well,
So-
construction's probably going to get picked because people need that victory point.
Right, but he shouldn't be the one to have it. So I think I'm inclined to vote for you because I don't think you're going to vote for me unless I.
Yeah, no, I definitely not voting for you.
And I'll pay you to vote for me.
I don't know. Let's just go to voting.
Yeah. Well, it's you first.
I'm gonna vote for myself.
I think I have to vote for Adam here.
Okay. Adam gets the Minister of Industry. Refresh all your planets, and we'll move into the next strategy phase. Okay, I need to solidify something for the round, so being that I'm a speaker 2 times in a row, I'm going to take, for the second time, Warfare.
Taking me, taking Barely, you piece of shit. What if I just don't take it? I can't do that. I can't in good conscience do
You
that.
can't let him take Imperial. I might be a piece of shit, but...
You know, it'd been really cool if Ethan took Imperial so I could take something I wanted to take, but there's literally no way I can let Armand take Imperial, so I'll take Imperial.
I am going to choose construction, so that way I can finally get ahead on this public objective.
I think I have enough money and enough command tokens to do what I need to do this round, but I'm falling behind on technology, so that'll be my second pick. Arbrex tech is honestly really kind of bad. I start with a red and have no use for it, and then their faction tech is also almost useless because I need to go into blue tech anyway. So pulling tech this round was really just a way for me to jump up into gravity drive. We'll see if it actually works out, but I need to catch up a little bit in terms of movement.
I'm not liking the fact that I don't really get a lot of choices in the matter, so I think grabbing politics will allow me to become the speaker and have more options next round.
I'm feeling pretty rich already in both trade goods and my planet's resources, so I think I'm just going to take leadership both for the initiative and for extra tokens.
You already have so many tokens!
Yeah, but I really don't need either of the other ones.
I know. I'm just saying you have so many and it's obscene.
Alright, we got construction and leadership this round. I'm going for the structure objective, so gotta get construction. Getting right into round 3, I'm going to start by immediately using the construction strategy card. I am going to choose to put a PDS on both Megatol Rex as well as Echoin.
Just to make this simple, I'm going to place a PDS on Cormund.
I'm also going to, and I just got a sweet law in play for myself, so I'm going to put down this space dock and I'm going to use its production ability. Alrighty, we're going to just move on over here. Dreadnought, capacity of 1. We're going to explore this planet. Hazardous. And volatile fuel source. If I have at least 1 mech on this planet, or if you remove 1 infantry from this planet, gain a command token. Yeah, goodbye, bro.
For my first action of the round, I'm going to exhaust the technology strategy card. I'm going to be spending 6 resources to get 2 technologies, gravity drive, and then dark energy tap.
Funnily enough, I will also be grabbing Gravity Drive, and I'll just be exhausting one of my home planets and using a trade good.
I'm going to exhaust my home planet for 4 resources, and then I'm also going to exhaust Wellen for the tech prerequisite so I can research Space Dock 2. It might seem weird that I'm upgrading my Space Dock technology, but like I said earlier, we've got that production secret objective. So I think it might be finally time to get that up so I can actually get another point there. I really want to keep Mechatal Rex safe, so we're going to orbital drop once more on here.
Alrighty, I'm going to come on over here and move this Dreadnought and one of these guys. I'm just going to do some more exploring, this time in an industrial planet. Ooh, I got a relic fragment. Cool. I don't have any of them, but we'll see what we can do with it.
I'm honestly just spinning in circles. I need more planets than Adam somehow by the end of this round. I don't know if it's going to be possible, though. Alright, I'm going to activate New Albion and Starpoint. We're going to re-explore Starpoint with Scanlink Drone Network. I'm really hoping for a relic fragment. Yes, let's go. Yeah, boy! I'm also going to produce with my 2 mechs and infantry in that system.
Alright, I think there's no reason to stall too much, so I'm going to go ahead and use leadership, and I'm going to spend an extra 12 influence with Mechatal, Mir, and RNM, and I'm going to get myself a total of 7 command tokens.
Exhausting Lore and Arnor and spending 3 trade goods, I'm going to get 2 command tokens.
I'm going to use up to 4 of my planets, a couple of these bad boys in here, 2 of them that have 3, and then 2 of them that add up to 3 to also get just 3 command tokens for myself. I will continue my escapade, and because I just got Gravity Drive, I'll actually be able to move 3, so 1, 2, 3. This guy will come on over. We'll check out Sordor and Abandoned Warehouses. I can gain 2 commodities or convert up to 2 commodities to trade goods. Well, I actually got commodities earlier, so I can actually trade those in and get 2 trade goods right now.
Using my token, I'm going to place it in Quan, and as long as Armand doesn't have an action card, which it looks like he doesn't, I'm going to move the carrier through the beta wormhole into Quan, landing on it and taking it. I will then use the Primor ability at the end of my turn to replenish that planet up to 2 infantry. Because my infantry just landed and production is the last step, I'm also going to produce in this system, but only producing 1 thing.
It looks like I already have all the tech specialty planets I need for this point. So I think the plan is just keep them safe and orbital drop, orbital drop, orbital drop, orbital drop. I need to keep some of my planets protected, so we're just going to keep orbital dropping. Instead of Mechatal this time, I'm going to be dropping on Mir. Got to keep that tech specialty planet safe and sound.
Bro, where are all these space marines coming from? The sky? I don't believe it. Alrighty, I've done enough exploring here now. I think I'll start doing some more political stuff and pop actual politics. So I'm going to choose a player that's not the speaker, myself, and make them the speaker. I'm also going to draw 2 action cards, and we'll look at the top 2 cards of that agenda deck here. You guys interested?
Yeah, I think we're both interested in taking 2 action cards.
Hold up. Wait a minute. These action cards are kind of hot. I think I'm catching a lucky break.
I drew Rise of the Messiah as the Arborec. Let's go!
On the politics secondary, I ended up drawing a sabotage card. Now this is going to be really cool if I can use it at a crucial moment, because it means I can cancel out the effect of another action card.
Alright, the Arborec needs some love. I'm going to purge these 3 hazardous relic fragments and get a relic. Hopefully something really helpful. It's the Codex. Action. Purge this card to take up to 3 action cards of your choice from the action card discard pile.
Dude, that Codex relic that Ethan got this turn, there's a lot of potential there.
Honestly, already having the secret objective form a spy network and then drawing the Codex is going to be amazing. I can discard everything I want and draw it all right back up. And maybe an Imperial Rider.
Alrighty, I think I'm going to activate this system here only because I have the Scanlink drone network, which means I get to re-explore Mir here. Let's see what we get. Would you look at that? We got another fragment. I have nothing to say about that.
I'm going to pop Imperial, so I can immediately score 1 public objective if I fulfill its requirements, which in this case, I actually have more planets than both of my neighbors, so I'll finally be scoring that objective. I'm not on Mechatol Rex though, so I will just draw a secret objective. You guys interested in drawing some secrets?
I sure am.
Me too.
Oh man, this new secret objective I got kinda sucks. I need to win a combat against the person with the most points. That's me. I can't win against myself.
Really? 2 relic fragments? Ah, come on, man. I just feel like I'm getting pulled in different directions for my secrets right now.
Alright, for my turn, I'm going to go ahead and use Letni Aspa's the Agent for Arborec to upgrade this carrier into a Dreadnought.
Alright, I will activate this system here for a very similar reason. Since we have the scan link, I will be re-exploring Joel Ear. See what we get. Local fabricators. I can gain a commodity, or I can spend a trade good or commodity to place a mech for my reinforcements on this planet. I will absolutely be paying for a mech.
Alrighty, I feel like I've been getting put in a position where I'm not super comfortable with my progression throughout this game, so I need to make a big move, and that's going to start by activating this system over here in the corner. Now you might be wondering, how am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to play In the Silence of Space. After I activate a system, I can choose one system. During this tactical action, your ships in the chosen system can move through systems that contain other players' ships. I'm going to choose Hope's End so that this can move through other people's ships. And I'm looking to go right this way through this gravity rift to get a plus 1.
Alright, man, let's see what you roll.
So what is
There
it
you
again?
go. It is a 1 to 3 for each non-fighter ship you're moving through. Show us which non-fighter ship that you're moving.
I'll be moving this carrier, and I'll be bringing 2 gentlemen with me.
Okay, so a single roll. 1 to 3 and it blows up.
Oh, man. No!
No way!
No! I needed that for my secret objective. I kind of kept stalling. Fuck.
Oh man, that really sucks, Adam. I'm sorry.
Aw man, poor Adam. That gravity rift play would have been so good if he didn't roll low. I might have been in a really bad spot.
Alright, that definitely did not go the way I wanted it to. I really wanted to use Hope's End ability to put a mech on that planet. But, yeah, not anymore. So I'll be exhausting Hope's End ability to put a mech on Hope's End.
Alright, boys, it's time. We're using the last strategy card of the phase. Warfare is going to be used. I'm going to pull it off of this system here and put it back in my sheet. I'm going to redistribute things so that I've got 2 tactic tokens. I'm going to go ahead and do Form the Spy Network now so I can actually take advantage of the Codex. Fuel the War Machine will have to come next round along with that public objective of having planets outside of your home system with structures.
Alrighty, I will be using the secondary, and I think I'm going to produce my flagship.
And it looks like Adam's choosing not to.
You know, warfare came a little bit late for me, but I think I'm pretty good here. I'm gonna pass for the round.
Yep, and now I need to rebuild even more. I lost a couple boys, so we're going to go here, and I'm going to produce carrier that was lost. I'll get a new mech. I'll produce 2 guys, and then I will also use, at the end of my turn here, I will use my agent to give myself 2 more infantry. So we're all having a party on Hope's End.
At this point, honestly, he's already down. I should just take Perimeter to sway the tide towards my favor and see if I can also take Hope's End before he builds it up even more. I do have Teklar Legion in case I need to give myself a little boost. All right, Adam, I'm sorry to kick you while you're down, but I'm bringing in my flagship and 3 infantry into the perimeter system.
Oh, I hate to see it, man. I hate to see it. That's real messed up, but I'll at least sweeten it a little bit for myself. Forward supply base. After another player activates a system that contains one of my units, I'll gain 3 trade goods. Someone else can get a trade good. It's definitely not going to be you, so Armand, I guess you can have a trade good.
Let's go!
I'll also announce retreats, and I'll probably look to go right here.
You don't have to say exactly where until after.
Oh, well.
Okay.
Oh, well. We'll see if he lives.
Rolling for my 2 dice. They hit on a 7 for my flagship. That is 2 hits.
And I'm just going to be rolling for my Dreadnought, see if I can sustain damage on his flagship. That's a 9, so that's a hit.
Just to make sure he doesn't play a direct hit on me, I'm going to play Shields Holding in order to cancel one of those hits. That allows me to score Unveil Flagship. Win a space combat in a system that contains your flagship without your flagship being destroyed. And we'll move me up to 3 points. Now I am going to invade this planet as well. I'd like perimeter, so I'm going to commit all 3 infantry to that planet. I'm rolling for my 3 infantry that all hit on a 9. That is no hits. You can roll for your one.
Alrighty, buddy. That's what you got. Ooh, a 10. That's a hit.
Okay. So I've only got 2 infantry now. Rolling against them. That is a hit. Adam, let's see if you take one more out.
Alrighty, let's see. Martyrdom.
That is a hit because
Yeah,
it's
let's
Sardak.
go.
Okay. All right, so my Letany warrior stays at perimeter, and I'm going to take that from him. Poor Adam. But go me for the future. I wish I got a public objective, but I'll be able to get a couple this next round if I play this right.
I've exhausted all of my tactic tokens, so I think I'm just going to pass for now.
Without a true chance to take Mechatol at the moment, and I can't take another planet from Adam from anything I can see on the board. So I am going to pass as well, which means we're moving to the status phase. At the beginning of the status phase, of course, I use mitosis to place a single infantry on perimeter. Starting the status phase by scoring the objectives, Armand has found research outpost to gain a point, and a secret objective, produce en masse, to gain a second point. That means have units with combined production value of at least 8 in a single system. I guess that's why he upgraded his space dock. Adam, unfortunately, looks like he has no public and no secret objectives to score. I do not have any public objectives to score, but I do have a secret objective, which is discard 5 action cards. And I'm going to discard everything from my hand in order to do that. Moving me up to 4 points. The next objective is lead from the front. Spend a total of 3 tokens from your tactic and or strategy pools.
I don't think I can win this game, man. Not with those public objectives. Alrighty, and our first agenda here is Ixthian Artifact. It is a directive. With 4, says the speaker rolls 1 die. If the result is a 6 through 10, each player may research 2 technologies. But if the result is a 1 through 5, destroy all units in Mechatol Rex, and each player with units adjacent to Mechatol Rex has to destroy 3 of those units in those systems. Against? No effect. So, funnily enough, I'll just say this right here, right now. I bottomed the 2 earlier, so this was completely unbeknownst to me, all right? And remember, we only have 1 vote each.
Well, Adam and I obviously like this because it blows up Soul's position on Mechatol Rex, but he still would control it until we take it from him.
True.
So we'd still have to make sure he doesn't take the 1 and 8.
Right, but I am speaker, so I could grab 1. I mean, I think my mind's made up. I think your mind's made up, so we'll just have to see what happens in this voting process, but...
Before the agenda starts, do we have any when the agenda is revealed cards? No?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. Any after the agenda is revealed cards? No, it doesn't look like it.
No.
So Armand, you go ahead and start.
All right. As much as I would like to see 6 through 10 rolled on the 4, I can't quite risk it. So I will be the one guy to vote against.
And I'm voting for.
I'm definitely voting for.
Let's go. Adam, let's roll that die.
Alrighty. Again,
Let's see what it is.
1 through 5.
Come on,
You know,
6 through 10.
we'll see with my luck. You know, I just lost
6
all
through
my
10
stuff.
is 2 techs, and 1 through 5 is blowing up Mechatol.
Yo, let's go. That's 1 through 5. That's a 5.
Oh man, Ixian Artifact is so cool, but it sucks that we just rolled low. Oh man, I would have loved 2 techs. I have to try to get Mechatol Rex back.
Yo, can we get 5 big booms for that Ixian artifact? Boom, 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 boom. Let's go.
You'll be able to see the update to what the board looks like at the beginning of the next round.
Alrighty, next in line for our agendas here is... Ministers of Antiquities. Super simple. Directive, elect player. The elected player gains 1 relic.
Well, this is going to be hard not to just all vote for ourselves.
Yeah.
Armand, I'll pay you to vote for me.
Well, hold up. Do we have any wins?
When? No?
Nope.
I do. I have a win. I'm going to play Dick...
Dick. Dick Rider.
Okay, redo.
Okay. I'm going to play Diplomatic Pressure. When an agenda is revealed, I choose another player. They must give me a promissory note from their hand. Armand, I'm going to ask to get a promissory note from your hand.
Alrighty. Here you go.
Thank you, my sir. What are we doing about this? Any afters?
No.
No, nothing
Nope.
from me.
Armand,
Alrighty, how much you want to pay me for this then?
I'll pay you 2 trade goods to vote for me. It's either you get something out of this or you don't.
Make it 3 and we got a deal.
Whoa, 3 for a relic? Come on, I got the lowest amount of points here. Why don't you hook me up? You're gonna hook
3
up
for
your
a relic.
competition?
3 for a relic.
You're gonna hook up your competition?
Come on.
Give it to me, man. I'll give you 3.
Don't just give it to Adam for free.
I'll give it to you for 3.
That
I'll
sucks.
pay 3.
You'll pay 3?
I'll pay 3.
I'll pay 4.
I'll pay 4.
This is betting war at this point. It's like, between you two, how much you want to give me?
Nah, give it to Adam. Make him pay 4.
Alright.
Alright.
I will take 4 and I will vote for you.
Alright, I'll just abstain. Adam gets it.
There you are.
Better be a good relic.
Alrighty, and the relic I got is the Crown of Thalnos. During each combat round, this card's owner may re-roll any number of their dice, applying +1 to the results. Any units that re-roll dice but do not produce at least 1 hit are destroyed. Well, I already get +1, so this might actually come in handy for me, and it looks like we're going to have a lot of ground combat happening soon here. Yeah, I thought I would have more options as the speaker, but I feel like I am forced to, and maybe possibly going to get some advantage out of grabbing Imperial.
I haven't had the speaker token this whole game, so I think it's finally time. I'll be taking the politics strategy card.
I am completely starved for tokens and would really like to score something, so leadership it is.
For my second pick, I think I'm just going to go with construction.
Alrighty, secondary, I'm going to choose warfare.
I like the idea of those 2 trade goods on that trade card, so it's coming my way. Sorry, technology. I guess you're falling behind this game. For that first turn, I'm going to grab that action card I was so excited about, Rise of a Messiah. It's an action where I place 1 infantry from my reinforcements on every planet I control. Rise of a Messiah.
Alright, I need to build back up a lot, so I'm going to activate my home system here, and we are going to use 10 resources to produce a dreadnought, a cruiser, a carrier, and 2 infantry.
So my first move this turn, it's a hard choice. I could go for Mechatol and take the risky play, but that leaves my entire pie slice open to Ethan. I don't know. Well, it's been freed up, and I think the bugs are trying to infestate Mechatol Rex. So I'm looking to activate that and move on over. And I'm just going to bring 2 of my mechs with me. Armand, may I please have the Mechatol Rex card?
Here you go, sir.
Thank you, thank you. And at the end of my turn there, I'll just put 2 infantry with my agent.
For my next move, I am going to use the Codex and purge it to take 3 action cards of my choice from the action card discard pile, of which it'll be Rise of a Messiah, Imperial Rider, and Trade Rider. The Codex is so cool.
I told you the Codex had a lot of potential. It's crazy. Alrighty, I think I want to be able to move these things, so I'm going to use the Warfare Strategy card, and I will take the token off my home system. Free that up.
I'm going to skip using the secondary.
Yeah, same here. Well, now that I got Mechatol in my possession, I think this is a perfect time to pop construction and get a PDS or space dock on a planet control. I'll do PDS there, and I will put a PDS on a planet I control. I think I'll put it over by my home system to kind of protect myself a little bit. You guys?
Yeah, I'm going to put a PDS here on Welland.
And I am going to put a PDS over here on Arnor. Well, I know this is going to be giving everybody a lot of stall potential, and I should not be using it this early, but it's going to help me out since I don't have any tokens in my strategy pool. I'm going to use leadership right now and gain a whole bunch of tokens. I'm going to get a total of 7 tokens out of that.
I'm going to use 12 influence using planets and trade goods to get 4 command tokens.
Alrighty, I am exhausting a majority of my planets since they're super high in resources to get a total of 5 tokens.
Okay, I'm going to activate the system and bring over my flagship, as well as I'll bring around, sure, why not 3 guys? Or let's do 2. We'll do 2 guys here. I will scanlink mirror on activation. So let's see what we get. If I have at least 1 mech, or if I remove an infantry from this planet, I gain a trade good. Cool. Yeah, no, that's fine by me. We'll get rid of this guy. We'll get another trade good.
Alrighty, in the moment you've all been waiting for, I'll pop Imperial. So I'll immediately score 1 public objective if I fulfill its requirements. In this case, I actually do. And that would be having 3 structures on planets outside of my home system. I've got space dock here, and technically 2 PDS, so we're good. We got a little more. This play was big. It jumped me up 2 points, but it was a little too easy. And that's kind of making me feel a bit nervous. And I'll gain 1 victory point because I control Mechatol Rex, so that'll put me up 2 total points. So no secret objective for me, but secret objectives for you guys?
I will indeed grab a secret.
No, I think I'm okay.
This new secret objective I got is I have to have 5 dreadnoughts. That's a lot.
Nah, I don't need to draw another secret objective. The 3rd one's in the bag. This is going to be easy, but I am going to play my hand early. We'll see how that works out for me. Adam and I talked about me being able to peacefully take Quekin, so I'm going to move both my ships in here and fully remove all 3 infantry from perimeter in order to sit on Quekin peacefully, and I'll take that planet card from him. And if he ever decides to betray me, I'll kill his whole family. Then at the end of my turn, I'll use the Atromit from Primor to place 2 more infantry on Primor. Hey, that's what happens when you put Arboric in a 3-player game. I've got a lot of room to grow.
I'm going to be activating this system. With Scanlink, I will re-explore Akowin, but then I will also be bringing this carrier, cruiser, and 2 infantry into the system. Let's see what we get. Would you look at that? That's another industrial relic fragment. I have 2 of those now, so if I can just get atoms, maybe I'll have myself another relic.
Yeah, this Purge 2 Relic Fragments secret objective is pretty much impossible. I'm not gonna spend my time getting Scanlink, and Armand's not gonna hand one over to me. I don't know, maybe I'll try and sell it to him. Little unfortunate that I was a bit scared to do this earlier with Warfare Secondary, but I needed to make sure I had strategy tokens, but now I'm going to activate my home system, and I'm going to produce 1 carrier, and I'll get 4 dudes. I'll also exhaust Hope's End to draw an action card.
Alright, as the Arborec, I am once again going to play Rise of a Messiah, placing 1 infantry from your reinforcements on every planet you control. The second coming.
Alrighty, I think I'm just going to be using the politics strategy right now. I'm going to make myself the speaker, draw 2 action cards, and look at the top 2 of the agenda deck. Alright, so I looked at the top 2 agendas. There's a Minister of Science, which, could be okay. I'll put that on top. But the other one is just a redraw since there's already laws in play, so bottoming.
I'll be following that and drawing 2 action cards.
I'll be part of the Cool Kids Club. I'll also draw 2. Despite the fact that I got a bunch of tactic tokens and strat tokens, I think I'm just gonna pass for the round.
Yikes. Adam's already passing. I feel kind of bad for him. Alright, the moment we've all been waiting for. The Arborec's Ultrasonic Emitter Hero. It's an action where I can produce any number of units in any number of systems that contain 1 or more of my ground forces. Rise of the Messiah again, but it's really kind of just sort of because it's the Arborec hero. I'm going to be building 1, 2 dreadnoughts, a cruiser, a carrier, and 18 infantry. Split up between 6 on perimeter, 6 on Bakal, and 6 on Quekin.
Oh, jeez, that's a lot of green plastic.
Yeah, we've got a dandelion infestation, and we need some weed killer ASAP.
Alrighty, I'm going to use the Soul's Orbital Drop ability again here on Wellen. Try to protect that structure.
Using my agent, Let Me Aspa, I'm going to upgrade this cruiser into a dreadnought as well. Alright, finally I'm going to use trade to gain 3 trade goods and replenish my commodities up to 3. I'm going to make the Sardak Nor player a 1-for-1 trade deal. If you'd like 3 trade goods, I'll take 3 as well.
Can't hurt, right? Why not? I'll take 3 trade goods.
Alright, so you can replenish your commodities and we'll flip for 3. And then Soul, would you like to replenish yours?
I think I'm going to choose not to for this time.
After that, I'm going to go ahead and pass as the Arborec player, placing 1 more infantry on Quekin at the beginning of the status phase. Alright, for the status phase, the Arborec player has improved infrastructure, and also the secret Fuel the War Machine, which says have 3 space docks on the game board. Moving up to 6 points. Armand, as the Soul player, also has improved infrastructure public, but no secret objective. And the Sardak Nor player has lead from the front public objective, but no secret objective to score, moving them up to 5. And the first Stage 2 public objective is Command an Armada. Have 8 or more non-fighter ships in 1 system. We're going to clean up the board and get ready for the next agenda phase.
Alright, we're going to do the first agenda for this round, and it is the Minister of Sciences. It is a law where we elect a player. The elected player gains this card. When the owner of this card resolves the primary or secondary ability of the technology strategy card, they don't need to spend resources to research it. So, we still only have 1 vote each, but we will do the when an agenda is pulled. Does anyone have any whens?
No.
All right. Does anyone have any afters?
I have an after. I do. I've got insider information. After an agenda is revealed, I can look at the top card of the agenda deck. Interesting, interesting.
I don't have any afters to play.
Alrighty, neither do I. So this one seems pretty lackluster, to be honest. I don't know if any of us really want to be able to do tech this next round, but
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'll take it. No one wants it so much, but this one's kind of hard.
I'm going to vote for myself.
I'm gonna vote for myself.
I guess I will. What?
If you vote for me, I'll pay you.
How much?
Well, it has to be less than 6, and you have to let me take the strategy card. I'll pay you 3.
I was gonna say 5 is less than 6.
No, I'll pay you 3. I'll pay you half of what this value is. You have to let me take tech.
You know what? I think that's fine.
All right, thanks.
I will vote for Ethan.
Minister of Sciences going to Ethan. Let's go.
All right, our second agenda is compensated disarmament. We destroy each ground force on an elected planet, and for each unit that was destroyed, the player who controls that planet gains 1 trade good. Before we go into talking, does anybody have any win action cards?
Please have a veto. This one's so lame.
I don't have a veto. Nope.
Would you pay me to veto?
I would pay you to veto. 2 trade goods to veto.
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right. Veto that.
Alrighty.
That is garbage. And the thing is, I even want the card. Like, I want it to be my planet, considering I'm the Arborec. But that's just lame as hell.
I agree with that, which is why I will be the one to veto this. Ethan may not know it, but he's paying me to make all these dreadnoughts right now.
Yeah, bro, elect planet. Come on, man. You know how many planets there are compared to people in a 3-player game?
Yeah.
All right.
All right, we're going to go into the next agenda after that veto, and it is Seed of an Empire. This is a directive. If we vote for, the player with the most victory points gains a victory point, and if we vote against, the player with the fewest victory points gains a victory point.
I have an after.
Oh, come on.
All right. Sorry. Wins? Does anybody have any wins? Oh, you don't have your veto anymore because I paid you to use it? Oh, shit.
I do not have any wins. You're correct.
All right.
I do not.
Any afters?
I do not have an after.
I have an after. All right. I've got an Imperial Rider that I'm putting on against.
You know, that's kind of crazy because I have a sabotage card.
No.
No.
I told you guys that sabotage is going to come in handy. I'm sorry, Ethan, but you're not getting a point no matter what.
All right. I have a Trade Rider I'll put on 4.
Okay, sounds good. I will sabotage the Imperial Rider.
Well, Armand, we're doing this, right?
Yes, we're actually voting on this one.
We're totally doing this together.
He thought you were gonna vote for, so you both get points. That might still be the move.
It is the move, bro.
But you should hook me up. Then we can all have 6 points.
Did you not hear what he said at the beginning of the game? That he was gonna crush the Space Marines?
I did hear that.
That's a confessional, bro. You don't know anything about that.
You told us that in private as well. We vote for ourselves. Capitalism, baby.
Yeah!
The rich get richer.
Well, I'm the speaker, so I don't vote first.
Bro, am I about to pay you to do this?
No!
We're gonna do it. I know
we're
we're
voting.
gonna do it. Okay.
I'm voting against.
I really do apologize. I'm voting for.
Oh,
yes!
I was really hoping that Imperial Rider would work. At least I got a point.
All right, so Ethan and I will both go up 1 victory.
And I get 5 trade goods from my Trade Rider.
You just made all the money back that you paid me.
I did. I made exactly the amount of money back that I paid you.
If you couldn't tell already, for like the 3rd time, I'm not winning this game, man. I don't think I can win this game. But I do have my hero, and I might have a few action cards up my sleeve, so we don't know what'll happen. So let's go see what happens.
Okay, I've got a feeling this is going to be the last round of the game, so it is imperative that I take Imperial.
I've got a really good feeling that Adam's going to keep leadership away from Armand, so I'll go ahead and take diplomacy for a good lockdown and a couple trade goods.
Yeah, Ethan's got good intuition, and I also have 1 token in my tactic and strategy because I put 8 in my fleet, just like everyone else, so I'm going to be taking leadership.
Okay, if we're going to be making 8 non-fighter ships, I'm going to need a little bit more trade goods, so I will take trade.
I've got to actually make good on that deal I made in the agenda phase, so technology it is. We'll see if I can actually get some light wave deflector going.
Man, am I in a pickle. I am in a pickle. And you know what? Construction's useless, so it's kind of between politics and warfare. I feel like warfare has a lot of uses. I'm already maxed out on cards. Like, it's always nice to get more, but I feel like the flexibility of warfare might just be what helps me this round. Alrighty, well, I need 8 non-fighter ships in the system, so we'll start with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Got 5 destroyers. They're hanging out with this carrier, and yeah, that's my first turn here.
All right, for my first action, I'm going to go ahead and use technology, and I'm going to get that second one for free. In this case, I'm doing Carrier 2 and Light Wave Deflector.
I'm going to choose not to do the secondary for tech this round.
And I'm just going to try and upgrade to light wave deflectors. Alrighty, I'm getting light wave deflectors as pretty much a Hail Mary. Maybe I can send one of my carriers to someone's home system to stop some shenanigans and stop them from winning.
And then at the end of my turn, I'll use the attribute to place 2 infantry on a planet I control.
Alrighty, I still want more trade goods, so I think I'm going to start off the round by using the trade card. I'm going to gain 3, replenish my commodities, and then I think there is no reason to replenish anyone else.
Aww.
Sorry.
So I may only have just 8 tokens in my fleet pool, but I have the option of doing either leadership to get some more, or pull off something on the board with warfare, which I think is exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to pull this token off of my home system. I'll redistribute some counters. I'll just keep them all into the fleet size. And if you guys want to produce in your home systems, you're more than welcome to.
That's a no from the Arborec.
I will be producing in my home system.
I'm going to play it safe and activate this system here, and I'm going to build 7 destroyers on that system. The Atlas space dock is already at 5. It's +2, so I can build 7 things. That would make it 8 with the carrier.
You guys remember my secret objective, right? Where I have to win a combat against the person with the highest amount of points? Before it was me. But I just realized Ethan and I are tied. Might have a way to win this turn. Alright, I feel a little bit left out of the fighting here, so I think I'm going to activate Quan System, and I'm going to bring the carriers and ground forces, as well as my flagship and ground forces, into this system here.
I'm first going to announce retreats out of this system with everything there.
Alright, first I'm going to roll for my flagship. It rolls 2 dice and it hits on a 5. That's 2 hits. I don't think we have to roll my other carriers, but if you would like to roll your attacks.
Yep, here's my carrier that hits on a 9. That's a no. And my cruiser that hits on a 7. That is a yes, 1 hit.
Awesome. I'm going to take the hit on a carrier.
And both of mine will blow up, unfortunately.
Alrighty, so with that, I will score an action phase secret objective to win a combat against the player who has the most victory points. Ethan and I are tied, so...
Oh, that's really nasty.
Yep.
Okay. That moves you up to 8. We're not looking too good, huh?
Sure are not.
Alright, this isn't looking good. I don't know if we can hold out much longer.
All right. My lonely ground force is going to try to fight back. You got a hit. Let's go.
So I'm going to use the Agent of Soul to make one of my infantry roll another die. So I'll exhaust that. All right. 8 total infantry. I'm rolling 9 die because one of them rolls 2 now because of my agent. So I sure hope one of these hits. That's a lot of damage.
Okay, Adam, we need to do something about this because he's literally just going to use Imperial and win on his turn because he has this 2 victory pointer. Do you have anything that can help? I really hope that Adam has a way to help, or else Armand wins on his next turn.
I don't know, man. I mean, he's by himself. I'm not really close. I mean, how do I... Wait a minute.
Wait.
Yo, hold on. Oh, wait. Okay.
His hero.
The bug's time to shine, baby. I think I will activate that system.
What?
Yeah, baby. You know what's up. And I think I'm going to take this guy and move him right on over here. And I think the homies want to say what up. So I'm going to use the Sardak Nor's hero. His hero? After I move a ship into an active system, you may skip directly to the commit ground forces step. If you do, after you commit ground forces to land on planets, purge this card and return each of your ships in the active system to your reinforcements. So we dive bombing, boys. And we taking out those space marines. We're craving flesh today. We're carnivorous.
Adam brought a total of 6 infantry alongside his 1 carrier that went back to his reinforcements, and Armand has 3 infantry that are spec ops on the planet.
I will also get to use my commander finally. So at the start of ground combat on a planet that I control, I get to place an infantry from my reinforcements on that planet.
Okay, so 4 spec ops instead. All right, Adam, you want to give me your roll of 6?
Let's see it. And I get +1 on my rolls. So these hit on 7s. That would be 2 hits.
Oh, okay. All right.
This is it. This is it. This is it.
But let's not forget the Crown of Thalnos. During each combat round, this card's owner may reroll any number of their dice, applying +1 to the results. I'm going to reroll the 3 ones that didn't hit. So now I technically get +2, so we're hitting on 6s. All right, I'll take 2 more hits.
5 hits in total?
5 hits in total.
This isn't it. This isn't it. This isn't it.
Against Armand's 4 roll of spec ops dice. Let's see what you get.
These guys hit on 7 naturally, so let's just see how many we can take out. That's just 1.
Uh-oh.
That sounds like the bugs had a nice snack, baby. So I'll lose 1 from the Crown of Thalnos, since one of the guys, he was weak. He wasn't meant to be in our military. And I'll lose 1 from the combat of the Space Marines.
Armand loses all of his spec ops, and Adam takes the planet, destroying Armand's space dock.
And just to sweeten it up a little bit, I think I'll use my Hope's End and my agent, so I can put 1 mech and 2 more infantry on that planet. All hail the Supreme Bug Overlords, your new rulers!
Considering I don't have many options in my hand and his only way of doing this is to retake his home system, I at least have 1 turn to spare, so I'm gonna go ahead and finally activate this Frontier token using that Dark Energy tap I got earlier, and maybe, possibly, pulling a few action cards that could be helpful. Alright, let's see what we get. We're looking at Dead World. Draw 1 relic. The relic is Dominus Orb. Before you move units during a tactical action, you may purge this card to move and transport units that are in systems that contain one of your command tokens. I mean, I guess I could move that entire fleet.
I need to get Adam's ground forces off my planet so I can score, so we're going to start with a little bit of bombardment. I'm going to activate that, and we're going to go straight to that. We're looking at my Dreadnought's bombardment. So they each roll 1 die, and they hit on 5. 3 hits.
All right, Adam, the way I see it, and I think you're looking at the same thing, is that we have to block off these couple of spaces. Because if he can move his fleet of infantry, what are there, 7, 8 here, over back to his home system along with that mech, he's going to take this and then score this with the Imperial Strategy card. If we can gum this up a little bit, he would have to break off his fleet to destroy it in order to open it up because he does not have Light Wave Deflector.
Right, yeah. So, and I can actually move in to the Alpha Wormhole there, although It's gonna be an uphill battle. Yeah, it'll be an uphill battle.
Chance. Either we roll over and just let him win by taking his home system, or we make him fight for it.
Not happening, buddy. Not happening, buddy.
Okay, move your stuff in.
Yeah. I have to pop leadership first because I don't have any tactic tokens.
Okay.
So I'm going to pop leadership. I'm going to exhaust the plethora of mine. So we get 2 from Mechatol, 1 from this one from this one, and then we'll get 2 from these 3. And that'll be it for me.
I'm just going to gain 3 tokens total and put them all in my tactic pool.
I'm going to spend my last 6 influence, and I'm going to grab 2 tokens and put them in my tactic pool.
All right, in order to keep myself having this fleet all together, in order to score this point just in case, I'm going to place my token in there and use Flank Speed and Dominus Orb, discarding Flank Speed and purging Dominus Orb, in order to move this Dreadnought and this Dreadnought both through the Gravity Rift through to here, taking an infantry each along with them. Let's see if either of these blow up with the Gravity Rift. That is a no, and a no. All right, they stay. So I'm going to attempt to drop down on Mir, and I'm going to take Aranam. Go ahead and shoot your Space Cannon offense.
All right, my PDS is going to hit on a 6. Nope, nothing for the offense.
All right, I'm going to commit to Aranam and take that one, and I'm also going to attempt to commit to Mir, and you can roll for Space Cannon defense.
All right, we're still hitting on 6s. Hopefully this one goes better. There it is. That one I get to keep.
All right.
Alrighty, to be able to salvage this situation at all, I am going to be using my hero action. I get to remove each of my command tokens from the game board and return them to my reinforcements. So I'm picking this up, and I'm picking this up.
Alrighty, so I'm going to go alongside Ethan here with our plan and try and block off Armand by activating this alpha wormhole. Hold on now. This plan of ours might actually work.
Yeah, we're gumming up the works.
I will bring over my Dreadnought, and I'll steal 2 of my destroyers from my home system. Now this will initiate a space combat with this destroyer of Armand's.
All right, any retreats, Armand?
I don't think I can afford a retreat here, so fight your heart out, destroyer.
All right, roll for your single destroyer, Armand.
All right, these guys hit on a 9. They're not great. So that's going to be a miss.
Roll for your 2 destroyers, Adam.
These bad boys will hit on an 8 because I'm the Sardak Nor. I get 1 hit, and, you know, we can see what the Dreadnought would do, but it's not really needed. That would not have hit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could move that massive fleet of destroyers and break it up, but that's really lame. I'm going to shoot something through the Gravity Rift. All right, I'm going to go for this last Frontier token. I'm going to bring this carrier going through 2 Gravity Rifts in order to get there. So we're going to have to roll twice.
If that man makes it through 2 rifts in a row, I'm going to be pissed.
All right, through the first Gravity Rift, he blows up. All right, that sucks.
Yeah, where's your god now, Space Dandelions?
All right, I need to try to get back to my home system, so I'm going to activate this system here. We're going to bring our flagship, and I'm going to bring in 2 Dreadnoughts. Hopefully, this will work.
Wait, he moved his flagship? I might actually be able to sneak in and snipe his carrier.
I am not announcing any retreats, and I'm going to roll for the Arborix 2 Dreadnoughts. That is a single hit.
First, I'm going to roll for my flagship. It'll be 2, and it's hitting on 5. That's 2 hits. Now, my 2 Dreadnoughts, which will also hit on 5. Only 2.
Sustaining damage on both of my Dreadnoughts.
I'm going to play a Shields holding card just to make sure that everything's safe.
All right, rolling for the second time for my 2 Dreadnoughts as the Arborec. That is a single hit.
Alrighty, first 2 for the flagship. That is a hit. Next 2 for my 2 Dreadnoughts. Only 1 hit.
Okay, blowing up one of my Dreadnoughts.
I will be sustaining damage on one of my Dreadnoughts.
And no, I do not have a direct hit. All right, rolling one last die for that final Dreadnought. That's a 4. That does not hit.
Okay, I think I'm going to roll 4 dice on this because they all hit on 5s, so we'll see if we can get that final hit. And we sure do. That's 2 hits.
That blows up my final dreadnought in that system.
I brought no ground forces to commit, so you can keep that planet.
Thanks so much.
I'm a little surprised that you did move your flagship. I thought maybe you'd kind of chill out there with him. You got the upgraded carriers and him. That's a lot of sustained damage. Not enough for my carriers, but I think a 2-on-1 might be a little more in my favor, Armand. So I'm going to activate this system. Going to move in this carrier and this carrier. I don't need any units because, you know what? I just don't think that's even worth grabbing. I just need to make sure you can't move them to your home system.
All right, Armand. Roll for your single advanced carrier.
You know what? I think in this situation, my carrier needs a morale boost. So I'm going to try to hit a little bit easier. All right, so I'm going to hit if I roll an 8 here.
Wow.
That is not hit.
All right, I'll roll for both my carriers, and they hit on 8s. So let's see if we can get 2 hits. Well, that's no hits, so I guess I could decide to use the crown, but it might be a little risky.
All right, Armand, round 2.
All right, the morale boost is gone, so we're back to 9s, but I believe. Ready? Right now. Nope.
Yikes. All right, 2 from Adam.
Round 2, baby. That's no hits either. It was a 9. I swear, I saw it roll a 9. It was not a 1. Some magical force just pushed it a little bit. That was a 9. I had it.
Back to the top with Armand.
Alrighty, come on, I believe. God.
Back to the top with Adam.
I believe. Come on, I believe. No hits.
This sucks.
Oh my god, bro. We are not rigging this. This is not just for suspense. All right, Armand, back to the top.
All right. Oh, if only I was Sardak Nor.
Alright, well, if only I was Sardak Nor. That's 1 hit.
That's a single hit.
Alrighty. I sustained damage.
And I have a direct hit.
This is so God. I salute you, soldiers that have to stay on Quan because of Adam. That carrier can no longer bring you home.
I have no ground forces to invade, so I think we're just having a party up in space. Rejoicing another day.
After all those shenanigans, I'm just going to go ahead and peacefully use diplomacy over here. I'm going to choose everybody to have to put a token on Bakal and Alio Prima. And then after that, I'm going to pass for the round. So no more Arborek.
Oh man, I think I have to use the saddest Imperial strategy card in history. No points for me. I will just be getting a secret objective.
Arborek's already scored all of theirs, so I'm not going to draw any secret objectives.
And yeah, I might as well try and get another secret objective in here. Yeah, so remember that 4 PDS secret objective I had at the beginning? It's back, and it's not getting scored. I had to send out some poor souls for the greater good, which means the boys back at home need to kind of group up so I can get those 8-in-1 system. So I'm going to just build in my home system. After building all my units, I'm just going to pass.
I was barely able to keep this planet, so I think we're going to orbital drop right onto it. Okay, I've got my last strategy token, so I'm going to orbital drop on here, and that'll be it for the soul. I'm passing.
Alright, at the beginning of the status phase, I'm going to drop another infantry on lore with mitosis. Adam, as the Sardak Nor, is going to score command and armada in order to gain 2 points, with no secret objectives. Ethan, as the Arborek, is also going to command an armada and score 2 points, going up to 9. And Armand is going to gather a mighty fleet. This is a 1-point secret objective to have 5 dreadnoughts on the game board, moving up to 9 points as well. There was Armand's 3rd and final secret objective. The next Stage 2 public objective is Conquer the Weak. Control one planet that is in another player's home system. At least Adam's got that one in the bag.
Aw, man, that second 2-point objective would have been sweet if it came up a little earlier, or was a secret objective.
We're going to clean up and get ready for the agenda phase.
Man, these action cards, they're not it. Would have been so much better earlier. Wow, I feel like I say that a lot. Everything that would have been earlier, would have been better earlier. I don't know, man. I just have been getting the short end of the stick this round.
Well, it's not as good as an action card that makes him redraw a strategy card. But I did pull Politics Writer, so hopefully an agenda comes up that I might be able to get the speaker token off of. You never know.
Alrighty, our first agenda is wormhole research. So if you vote for this directive, each player who has one or more ships in a system that contains a wormhole can research a tech, then destroy all ships in systems that contain an alpha or beta wormhole. If we vote against, each player that voted against removes a command token from their command sheet and returns it to their reinforcements. Alrighty, do we have any when an agenda is revealed cards?
Nothing here.
No.
I don't either. Do we have any after an agenda is revealed cards?
No.
Nope.
I do not either. Okay, what are we thinking, guys? I mean, I don't have anything on a wormhole. So
Ethan has his entire fleet on a wormhole, and I have a couple things on a wormhole. That'd be pretty devastating. But I also don't want to lose a command token.
I think that I am definitely voting command token on this one because I don't care about losing one, and I'd really like to not lose my entire fleet.
I think we can move to voting then if everyone's ready.
Yeah, I'm voting against.
I'm going to vote for.
I think I'm also voting for then.
Okay. So everything in a wormhole blows up?
Yes, but you do get a tech.
Let's go!
Fleet logistics it is for both of us. All right, our second agenda?
Alrighty, let's read off the second agenda. So for our second agenda of this phase, we have the Minister of War. This is a law where we elect a player. The elected player gets this card. The owner of this card may discard it after performing an action to remove one of their command tokens from the game board and return it to the reinforcements. Then they may perform an additional action. This is going to be really good for everyone. Does anyone have any win card effects?
No.
Nope.
No. How about any afters?
Yes, I do have an after. It is Politics Writer. I'm going to predict aloud an outcome on this agenda, which I'm going to predict Arman. I sit out on this agenda, and if my prediction is correct, I draw 3 action cards and gain the speaker token.
Gain the speaker token? Well, I don't have another sabotage for that, unfortunately. Unless you do.
I don't got anything for it, but sounds like I'm getting this law to affect me.
Who are you voting for, then?
I'm going to vote for myself.
As much as I want this, I think I do have to vote for Adam, so I can get Imperial. It's all yours.
Thanks.
Looks like 11 hours later, we're going into round 6.
Ah, shit. Here we go again. I'm picking Imperial again.
I need some kind of shot in the dark way to do something about this, so I'm going to grab Politics.
Man, I'm really being forced to have to take leadership just so Armand doesn't go first. Man, I wish I had free will in this game.
All right, I gotta be able to do something earlier. I won't be able to do anything earlier than Adam, but I will take diplomacy. So,
And maybe I can actually reach his side of the board after that explosion last round if I take Warfare.
And I'm still technically on his home system, so let's just try and arm up a little bit and see if we can get some PDS units to save ourselves. All right, my last stand. My only hope of actually winning this game is getting that 2-point public objective. I can build some PDS, and, well, my secret objective says have 4 PDS, so maybe I'll actually stay alive and be able to score first with the public and secret objective. Let's see what happens. Alrighty, well, I go first, and I'm going to need these as soon as possible, so I'm popping construction to put 2 PDS on Armand's home system. Then I'm just going to exhaust Hope's End to put another mech on that system.
God, there's just so many bugs gumming up my home planet. I wish I was able to bring, like, just a little bit more infantry in there. Man, if I had this stuff on Quantum, that'd be great. I have a flank speed in my hand, but my ships move so slow that I would need a second to even bring them all. Alright, I'm going to orbital drop onto Mir again, but I'm going to use the deploy ability of my mech, so I'm paying 3 extra resources and putting a mech there instead of 2 infantry.
Okay, I just need some kind of way of getting these ships over to Mechatol Rex, or at least over towards his home system in some kind of way, so I'm going to use politics and draw a couple of action cards. Dang, well, I was really hoping for some kind of action card to help me do something, but I guess those probably were pretty used up at this point. I'm also going to give myself the speaker token, and I'm going to look at the top 2 of the agenda deck. Yeah, I'm bottoming both of those agendas. Super lame, even if we make it to the agenda phase. Would anyone else like to draw any action cards?
Yeah, I'll draw 2.
Yep, I'll draw 2 as well.
No way! I got another flank speed off the politics. I think this is it. This has to be, right?
Alrighty, I'm going to pop leadership, get 3 command tokens, and then I'm going to spend command tokens from Mechatol Rex, and actually that's just it, because I only have 5 command tokens left to possibly use, so I don't even need to use another planet.
I don't really have any use for the rest of my planets, so I'll use them all, and I will get 3 more command tokens.
I see more value in production than I do with command tokens, so I'm going to go ahead and sit out of leadership secondary.
And because I picked up fleet logistics, I'm actually going to take a second action here. I don't know, Armand, you're being a little sneaky with all that, so just to be safe, I'm going to activate Mechatol to get a couple more guys. I will be able to do this by just getting +1 to my carriers, and I'll end it off with using my agent to put 2 more infantry on that planet.
Alright, moving into my home system. Spec Ops, it's go time. Okay, I think it's time to activate my home system, and I have 2 flank speed cards I'm going to play.
2 flank speeds?
My ships are going to get +2 speed, so I'll be able to move into here, grab my ground forces, and move in.
I think I'm cooked.
Unfortunately, this will blow up some of my destroyers, but it's for the Federation.
Okay, this has been kind of a crazy ride. I can't wait to see who comes out on top in this battle. All right, Adam, so you're going to get 2 shots for your Space Cannon offense.
Wow.
That's 2 misses.
Neither.
Armand's going to invade with all of his ground forces, so he's going to get a second shot of Space Cannon defense. That's 2 hits.
Wow.
Alrighty. At the start of this, I'm going to choose a ground force, and they're going to roll an additional time. It's going to be one of my mechs.
Now the first round of ground combat comes with Adam's 2 mechs shooting.
All right, these bad boys hit on a 6, or actually a 5 with Sardak Nor. That's 1 hit.
Adam's going to roll 3 times for his infantry.
That's 3 hits. Yo, let's go, boys. You show those Space Marines who's boss.
Alright, I'm going to roll 3 die for my mechs, and they're going to hit on 6.
That's 2 hits. Holy shit, bro. Oh my god.
Alright, and then my 10 Spec Ops hit on 7.
That's 6.
That's 6 hits.
So that's a total of Armand with 8 and Adam with 5.
Oh man, my guys have sustained damage, so when they do that, they produce extra hits, but I just got completely gunned down, man.
Yeah.
I felt bad for Adam this entire time, but at least he got to do something towards the end of it.
So you lose 4 ground forces, plus another 2 because I sustained damage on those and they deal additional hits, but you still walk away with a clean, 10 dudes. Alright, a little less than that, but...
Yes, the bugs are finally out of my home system. Now I just need to survive 1 more round, and I pop Imperial, and it's it.
Well, I tried my best, man. Ethan, You got anything? Because I don't think if you can, I don't think I can. I think he's got it.
I don't think so. I have fleet logistics, but unless I can do something right now, Armand wins this game. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to get as close as possible using this carrier and a couple of mechs. I'm gonna bring them over here through the gravity rift. We're gonna roll for the gravity rift, which is going to be a 9, so that survives. Let's see what the frontier is. You may replenish your commodities. Okay, well, whatever. I'm then going to use Warfare to lift this token off the board and place it back on my sheet. But I guess that does give Armand and Adam an opportunity to build up their home systems anyway, so it probably was futile.
As much as I would love to build up in my home system, I'm lacking a space dock there. So, I'm gonna pass.
Oh yeah. Adam, do you even want to try?
I think I did as much as I could. I really tried to keep Mechatol safe and sound as well, but man, those double flank speeds, dude. I didn't think you could get those many guys there.
You want to just pass as well? Because I'm passing.
I think I'm gonna pass, and I'm gonna put my hand out for that handshake.
Good games.
Good game.
Good games. So the way that he wins is by using Imperial. And what objective are you going to score?
I have more than enough tokens to spend 3 from my tactic and or strategy pools. So I will
Lead from the front?
lead from the front. A fitting way to end the game, I think.
It scores 10th point.
Sure does.
Thank you very much for watching the very first Galactic Report on the Cardboard Crash Course. My name's Ethan, and with the help of Armand and Adam, this was a great time and I really hope you enjoyed. If you want to watch a future Galactic Report, make sure to check out YouTube memberships. You can do this by going directly to the YouTube channel and clicking the join button. If you join one of the 2 top tiers, you can actually see an after show where we talk about the entirety of this game and how it was produced together. Depending on support, there may or may not be a future Galactic Report on the Cardboard Crash Course, but either way, we'll continue to make great Twilight Imperium content. Without further ado, I've been Ethan. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time on the Cardboard Crash Course. Pax Magnifica, Bellum Gloriosum.